Hi, it's Mobile Max in West Hollywood. July 31st, 2026, it's Friday. This is my opinion. The Big Bang Theory. Boy, do they hang on to this theory with dear life. The Hubble was a great space telescope, and it saw billions of years back into the universe. Now, I don't know whether you know anything about the Big Bang, but the Big Bang Theory is not just an event. Here's the Big Bang Theory. 13.8 billion years ago, the whole universe, space and time included, all matter, all energy, was condensed into an infinitely small singularity. Infinitely hot, infinitely dense. Where did this singularity come from? I have no idea. What was the nothingness it replaced? But the event was, the Big Bang was a big explosion and the birth of our universe. And it's a model. First you had the Big Bang, but all the elements were so small and hot they couldn't combine. There was no light. And then all of a sudden it cooled down, and then they call it reionization, and let there be light. Molecules, atoms were formed, and electromagnetic, gravity, all that stuff, strong nuclear, weak nuclear, began to evolve. And this is what the cosmologists want to see. They want us to go back into the future, into the past, and that's what you're doing. When you're going 12 billion years back, it takes so long for the image of the things back there in the beginning of, what they say is the beginning of time, that we get a vision through these space telescopes of what was 13, 10 billion, 5 billion years ago. Now, the first thing is, it's quite easy, common sense. Both Hubble and JWST Space Telescope, among many other space telescopes, Euclid, there's a bunch of them that study different things like X-rays. Anyway, JWST Space Telescope was designed especially to go farther back into time and to map the part of the early universe that Hubble couldn't get to, because Hubble is visible light. JWST Space Telescope is specifically designed for infrared light. Light humans can't see, but as it turns out, after going billions of years, light gets stretched into the infrared, because you have a whole electromagnetic spectrum. That's what is important nowadays. The electromagnetic spectrum, all the different types of light waves, radio here, gamma rays at the end, X-rays, infrared, visible light. Anyway, you get the idea. Infrared is what will show us the very ends or the very beginnings of our universe according to the Big Bang. Now, the Big Bang feels all wrong, doesn't smell right, doesn't feel right. In a universe where energy can neither be created or destroyed, what need do you have for a Big Bang? At any rate, you look at one of the pictures of Hubble or JWST Space Telescope, the deep fields, the ultra deep fields going way billions of years back, and you see a picture of all these galaxies. They believe there's 2 trillion galaxies in our observable universe. 2 trillion. Incredible. But in these deep, ultra deep pictures of the universe and the galaxies, do you see galaxies getting smaller and smaller and smaller as we go farther back into space and farther back into time? No! In these ultra deep fields, you see uniformity among galaxies. That should be the first hint that Big Bang is big bullshit. But it's more than that. So, James West Space Telescope, seeing in infrared, sees those last 500-600 million years of the beginning of the universe, all the way hopefully almost to the beginning. And what they found was huge galaxies. They couldn't understand all these huge systems which they say take billions of years to develop. They're in their Big Bang beginning of the universe. They're breaking the Big Bang theory. And then just recently they found all these little red dots in the back of the picture of one of these ultra deep fields, and they figured out that all these red dots were supermassive black holes. I don't know what you know what a black hole is, but it's the end of a supermassive star. Supermassive stars run out of energy and they collapse into such a intense, dense matter that they have incredible gravity. And at the very end, even light can't escape the gravity of this intense mass end of a star. They say in a neutron star, which is one step before the black hole, that a teaspoon of a neutron star weighs as much as an entire mountain range, hundreds of billions of tons. Very dense. And the black holes go beyond that. Anyway, at the center of every major galaxy is a black hole. It's a fundamental system of the universe. Our whole Milky Way orbits around Sagittarius A, a black hole, 4 million times the mass of our sun. And most galaxies have a black hole at their center. So they look way back in the James West Space Telescope and they see all these red dots, and they're massive black holes because they're putting out incredible energy. Because these black holes have so much incredible gravity, they tunnel in everything, all mass, all energy, all stars, all clouds, all dust, everything gets sucked into the black hole. And it digests all this material and breaks it down and releases massive amounts of energy into a plasma stream that shoots out millions of years, millions of light years into the universe. Anyway, these are incredibly powerful systems, these quasars. They're called quasars, a black hole, a massive black hole that chews up everything around it in the neighborhood. Like a Pac-Man. It's like a Pac-Man gobbling everything up around it in the universe. My theory is all galaxies will end up feeding these black holes as they get larger and larger. They found some black holes like TON 618 that are 40 to 60 billion times our sun. Can you believe that? 40 to 60 billion the mass of our sun, TON 618. And they think they found other ones also. But here's the main thing, the red dots. What are those red dots, those supermassive black holes? Why are they at the beginning of the Big Bang universe? Here's your answer. It's real simple. Occam's razor all the way. You're not looking at the beginning of the universe. Even with 13 billion years in the past, you're still looking at an older universe. The end phase of an older universe where the black holes gobble up their surrounding galaxies and get massively incredible. So the singularity idea holds water, but it's not just one event. It's millions, billions of events, millions, billions of black holes, because that's the way the universe does it. It does it a billion trillion times and in a billion trillion locations. That's the universe. So the red dots, in my estimation, my layman's estimation, is we are looking at an older part of the universe that was here long before our 10 billion year old Milky Way started. We're looking at an older part of the universe. Big Bang is bullshit. Big Bang is based on two basic theories. The Hubble constant, you know, the Hubble space telescope's named after this cosmologist, Edwin Hubble, and his Hubble constant is the speed at which the whole universe is expanding. Not just matter and energy, dark matter, but the actual space and time is expanding. And they say it's expanding faster than the speed of light. But that also has big questions to it, because here's the problem with the Hubble constant. It's happening in the far-off universe, not in our neighborhood of the universe. In our neighborhood of the universe, I don't know, within several hundred million light years, maybe, the galaxies are coming together. In 4 billion years, we're going to collide with our nearest major galaxy, Andromeda. And it's that in our local neighborhood, all the galaxies seem to be coming together in larger and larger galaxy clusters. So that's a big problem with the Hubble constant, is that it works for the far-off universe, but somehow it doesn't work in our local neighborhood. Also, the Big Bang theory is also based on the microwave background. And supposedly this microwave radioactive background that they discovered was a shine from the beginning, from the Big Bang. The microwave background was the end radiation from the Big Bang. That I also think they misinterpreted. Maybe it's dark energy they saw, not the reflection of the Big Bang. Anyway, that's my answer. What are all the little red dots in these ultra deep fields, these massive black holes? We're looking at an older part of the universe. An older part. Big Bang is big bullshit. The universe, and at least space and time, is infinite. And the ego of man can't deal with it. Man's vanity, his hubris, always gets intertwined into his theories and to his intellect. Man's vanity rules over him. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Bye.